Hi, and welcome to this little video series on how I did the track Velocity right here in the studio. It's three parts. I'll go into the drums first in Ableton, and then I'll go into the bass and the synth, or actually all the other parts of the track, also done in Ableton Live. And then we'll export it all to Logic and go into the mix. So it's three parts. Enjoy the video. If you have any questions, don't be afraid to ask in the comments, and please subscribe to my channel. Enjoy. Let's just start off with the drums, right? So I'll take you through them track by track. And of course, on top is the kick drum. It's just a sample, really. As you can see here, I have this drum rack filled with 128, well, almost 128 samples. Which makes it really easy to just, check something out. Like if I take this beat here, for example, I can really easily, especially if I turn on this, just select another one. Maybe this one will fit better for the track. So you can really easily switch kick drums that way, and also layer them. Or I'll just have like loads of them. Yeah, that's cool, right? Not for my style of music, but you could do that if you'd like. Next to that, next to the sample, it's processed by an equalizer, fab filter, Pro Q, great EQ. Not really much going on here. There's some low cut at around 40 hertz. Below that, it's a bit trashy, I think. Sometimes the sub bass can have some space here, so I take the kick drum out a bit higher to leave some space here for the sub bass. Always take a bit out here. Depends on the sound though, but I never really like that muddy bass sound, and you can always hear that coming in at around between 80 and 130 hertz. So watch that space, and of course some high-end roll-off, because without it, it's, I don't know, a bit too much high-end for my taste. Next to that, we have the supercharger. It's a free plugin by Native Instruments, actually. I think it was free, like for Christmas or something like that. It's a really aggressive compressor, but it also has this punch and dirt circuit that you can switch in. So without it, it sounds like this. And with it, it's a bit lower in volume, just to compensate. But it adds some more grit to it. And if you activate the punch circuit, you get a really punchy kick. But I didn't really want that for this track, so I turned that off. And this is a pretty easy way to see if your sound is too loud or too low, or precisely right. Mine is a bit too hot, so I should trim it down. And now it's not doing anything. So anyway, pretty easy way to find the right level for the compression circuit to kick in. So next to that, moving on, have some analog percussion here. Well, it isn't just samples. They're taken from this library from a guy that made all kinds of percussion samples with this modular synth. So really cool sounds. Yeah, nice. Pretty cool, right? Also 128 samples lined up in a drum rack, so if you have a MIDI controller, you can just smash the hell out of it, and you get some cool grooves. I have this. Yeah, it's not really loud in the mix or anything, but it really helps to drive the beat in my taste. Also Pro Q here to cut some bass. Of course, made a big dip here where the pew is. If we take it out, that's the difference. And it's followed by the 1176 emulation by Universal Audio. Really love that. It helps to give it a bit more punch. Then moving on, some hi-hats. Also here the hi-hats are in this 128 grid. You get the idea by now, I think. So it's, yeah, a few samples layered. With some delays going on. Let me check it out. This one has a delay. Also to drive it a bit more. And after the drum back, there's also an equalizer with a complete low end roll off. Just to leave some space for the other elements in the mix, like synths and stuff. Moving on, it's the claps, of course. It's pretty easy. It's a layer of those two. Oh, my computer's acting up a bit. I'm using the system audio, not my sound card, to record this video. So these are the claps. It's all pretty basic, not a lot of effects going on, but that's all coming in Logic, where I mixed it all. So I used Ableton like for a way to sketch out things and just put as much stuff in here, and then I'll take stuff away in Logic. Just working with audio. There's an 808 in here, not a real 808, but it's the library from the Transistor Revolution library, and you can hear the noise. They even sampled the noise of the instruments. Let's listen to the noise for a moment. Nice, eh? And there's some saturation elements in here. Let me see if I can find it. Oh, here. So we have the like tape saturation, and you can really dirty up your sounds that way. And it's a really cool sounding library for 909s and 808s, by the way. So that's in here. And of course there's the open hi-hat. Also a library of 128 open hi-hats. And here are some more. And that's also followed by an equalizer. So that basically are all the drums in this track. If you put them all together, it sounds a bit like, so I'll mute everything, this. Almost forgot the drum group. It's all going through a nice VCA compressor by Brainworks. Actually, it's not doing anything. But if you take it out, no, it's not doing anything. Actually, I took this all these plugins out when I exported the audio to Logic. So there's probably another bus compressor in Logic that does this trick. Yeah, so there's a sidechain compressor in here. I'll explain that later when we go into mixing the track. But yeah, it's not really doing anything when exporting into Logic, because I took all of this away before exporting. So that are all the drums in Velocity. In the next video we'll move on to all the bass and synth stuff, and that's much more exciting, trust me. See you in the next one.